It is a well-known fact that Malaysia has one of the highest rates of employees going on medical leave. And I face a lot of situations of managers complaining about this situation. And I think one of the key reasons behind why MC issues are not managed has a lot to do with our Employment Act, right? Now, there is a specific provision under our Employment Act dealing with medical leaves that says if you work for your employer for up to 2 years, you're entitled to 14 days medical leave per year. And if you work between 2 and 5 years, this increases to 18 days per year. And if you've worked beyond 5 years with that same company, this now increases to 22 days per year. Most managers I work with assume because this is stipulated under the law, there is nothing they can do. They are powerless to act, and they can only take action once the employee has crossed that 14, 18 or 22 day threshold. Now that's simply not true, because in truth, an MC is an MC. A medical leave certificate is a medical certificate. If a doctor gives it to the employee beyond that 14, 18 or 22 days, a company still has got to recognize that it was issued by the doctor. All it can do is to say, well, I'm sorry, you've exceeded your medical leave entitlement. So here, we will not be paying you for those leaves taken. But in truth, the employee cannot be terminated. The employee still remains an employee of the organization. And the rest of your department are still watching this, because they're going to be reacting and say, hey, this person seems to be abusing his or her medical leave entitlement, and why is this person getting away with it? Now, of course, the assumption here is this person is abusing it. I'm sure as a manager, you will know how to differentiate between those employees of yours that are genuinely sick, right, or ill or injured, from those that are, typical abusers of it. The staff that every month, typically 2 or 3 days a month, is going to come out with a headache or a stomach ache or some minor ailment, and it's just a continual monthly cycle. Now, what I'm about to suggest here is, why not set up a guideline within your department that tells employees, look, if you're absent or on medical leave 3 times or more within a calendar month, or 5 times or more over a 3-month period, I will query you. And that may involve me sending you a simple email, for instance, saying, hey, I've noticed this increasing trend of you taking MCs. Please explain. What this does is it acts as a deterrent to the employee, because the employee then realizes and says, hey, my boss is aware of this, right? And it also encourages that employee to take proactive action to make sure this is not repeated, right? What other steps can you take? Now, if you find, for instance, that a staff is regularly abusing their MCs, especially the typical Friday and Monday situation, the staff is always before or after a public holiday. The best thing you can do is not confront the staff directly. First of all, document the evidence. You can get an Excel spreadsheet showing the last 3 months, how many days of medical leave the person had taken, when it fell on, whether it fell on typically on a Friday or Monday. So when you actually face the staff on a face-to-face basis, you're able to tell the employee, look, I've noticed here 8 days of medical leave in the last 2 months, and 8 out of the 9 times you took it fell on a Friday or Monday. Then talk to the employee, right? In talking with the employee, the idea is it hopefully serves as a deterrent. Now, if the employee continues to abuse this, you can of course do next options, such as working with HR to perhaps consider having the employee go for a full medical screen. A medical exam will reveal if there's something really wrong with the employee. But if it comes back and shows that the employee is generally well, then I found in 70 to 80% of the cases, managers find that the problem gets resolved, because the employee would obviously feel a little bit uncomfortable, shall we say, repeating that same absence after a medical test reveals that this person has actually generally fine. Right? Other options you can do also include talking to the panel doctors, right? And even working with HR to reduce the panel doctors for that one particular employee, especially if you find that the employee is guilty of what we call MC shopping. where they run between different panel doctors. Monday is one panel doctor, Wednesday is a different panel doctor, Friday they run off and see a different panel doctors. They're basically shopping, running around panel clinics. In that situation, you're well within your rights to work with HR and tell the employee, I'm reducing your option of panel doctors between two panel clinics, for instance. One's going to be close to your home, one's going to be close to the office. Sit down and talk with the panel doctors even and say, look, we have a problematic employee. We're not saying you cannot give the employee that medical leave, but please make sure you verify the circumstances before you grant that person an MC. Now, these are some options that you can take as a manager in managing medical leave abuses within your department. Thank you.